Mithromania. Mithromania 2014. Eventually, you're gonna need 2,000 ingots. In a world where Landmark live chat is dominated by WoW players. Mithromania 2014. Sometime, somewhere, someone is gonna need 1,000 mithril ingots to make a mithril tank. In a world where devs tease what the caves might be. Landmark Live, featuring some display of caves of which we do not know the extent right now. The developers might be walking around, or it might just be some teasers. I would just be happy if they played the EQ Next Landmark music and showed Terraria. It's like, yep, this is kind of what it's gonna look like. That would be such a dick move. I would laugh my ass off. Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I don't think the land wipe is going to be on Thursday because they're going to want people at PAX to be able to see some of the nice stuff, so it's definitely going to be next week at the earliest. I'm not going to turn away this obsidian. In a world where obsidian is awesome. Mythromania 2014, featuring the Black Snake of Obsidian. Yeah, I get you. It's really silly that they would have a gray brick under marble. Everything marble should be kind of white. I don't really know what the purpose of alabaster is going to be, if it's going to be a different kind of white, but uh, yeah, it should be interesting to see what they'll eventually do. Because eventually they're going to fill out all the materials, all the metals, all the stone, and everything, and hopefully all the gems will have different crystalline forms and even a translucent glass or something at some point. We'll see though. Somewhere down the road they get all those things in. Hey, Poro, how you doing? Are you also? Is everyone else harvesting too right now? Well, I guess it's, marble is kind of the default, or granite rather, is the default stone in this part of this world. Um, that's just how it is. Slathar, how's it going? Just watching me harvest. It's definitely a lot easier, I found, to just blast the area out with the pulverizer. Other people don't do that as much. If you've got a really powerful pick that it blasts away so much dirt that you'll never lose sight of where the vein is at, you don't really need to do this as much. But at the same time, I've also got all the stuff on for 30% harvest bonus, so the amount of time that I might be losing by not using just heavy area destroying strokes, I end up kind of making back in the actual harvest efficiency. Rubicite. It's going to take a while to get enough of that to do something really meaningful. Hopefully that's one of the things that'll be changing this week, or maybe not. We'll see. They might be adding the final materials. I don't know if they're going to make a Tier 5 island or if they just get stuffed on the Tier 4 islands. But I'd really love to see them put that in and maybe add the last few pieces. Crash whenever you use it. Oh, that sucks. Do you crash when other people use it near you? Yeah, that's enough of that stuff. Mithril is my goal. It'd be really fun if some of the boss content in the game, you have to kind of pulverize all of the dirt away around it, and then it comes to life, and then you get to fight it. It'd be it'd be an interesting mechanic, but a lot of people would be like, "Oh, cool!" They'd find this thing and they start pulverizing the area around it, and as soon as it's done, it comes to life and eats them, and they don't know why. Hmm. So how early do people get in the Landmark Live chat room? 'Cause for me, it's like, Joe will be there when it gets there. Are there a lot of devs in the channel beforehand, or is it just a bunch of people blabbing about WoW and speculating? Right, so much alabaster. The only thing I really use alabaster for these days is meat faces. Sometimes the chat's interesting, huh? The ESO. Yeah. I could see the discussion going that way. Gotcha, Slathar. Yeah, I'm gonna be probably going till 30 minutes to showtime, and then I'm gonna end up cutting the stream here so that way I can get all the Skype stuff ready for live feature rant afterwards. So what kind of weapons does everybody want? What kind of weapons and weapon systems? Because they said, what you're equipped with is what your attacks and your abilities and stuff will be based on, and how your stats work, and how your health and things regenerate and such. All of that's going to be based on your equipment. So, what kind of stuff do you folks want to see? Ion cannons? Hell yes. Are you talking about ones mounted on claims or handheld ones, or both of those? Tanks or some kind of support role. Well, as a tank, I hope you're ready to run around and have to keep knocking enemies off course and such, and trying to re-piss them off, because I don't know if the whole holding aggro thing is going to work the same way. I think enemies will be, maybe their tactics will be, if somebody's doing a lot of damage to them and somebody isn't really doing too much, or they're doing support stuff, they'll just stop what they're doing with the person doing damage to them and go after the person they'll see as potentially the weaker target. So at that point, if you're doing a main tank sort of role, you're trying to maybe knock it away, or help your buddy create distance somehow. Yeah, lots of tanks would be great. I really would like to see a pretty good variety. Yeah, tab targeting soft lock. I hope they do not put that in. That would just ruin things. Because that's, it's not a very intuitive system for a game like this, where a lot of the attacks, I mean, especially for me, a lot of the attacks I'm going to be doing are going to be trying to utilize the terrain, blowing out areas that we can use to help give us cover, or trying to create a hole in the ground to knock enemies into, and then, I don't know, fill it with lava. So, how's it going? Were you streaming earlier today, or am I thinking about last night when you were streaming? Hell yeah, Slathar. That's the sort of stuff I'm really excited for, is when they give us the ability to affect our voxels and have them do dynamic things. They throw into obsidian. I don't see that every day. Cool. Gotcha, Sog. Grab some diamond, why not? Once they finally get the various glassy textures and stuff in, this diamond is going to be nice. So I might as well collect a bit of it now while it's easy. It's also probably going to be useful for a lot of more powerful rings and relics and stuff like that. Folks are probably getting an echo. Let me turn my sound down. Sorry about that. Mythromania 2014. Designate landmark, huh? Cool. Yeah, I'm really excited to see the all the stuff they're going to be showing tonight. Except the case. What case did you get? Were you the one who was saying you get like a big honkin' Lee or something? Or am I thinking of someone else? Oh, calm, no. Do you think this is an elementary school? At least use Legos or something. A cheap case. uh, weird. Oh, that box. That's funny. Oh, that'd be kind of neat. Custom case built into the desk. I guess to help with the ventilation or something. Of course, that means you're gonna have to be able to access all the various sides of the desk to be able to do what you need to with it. Aura raid, awesome. Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to the show here. Mythromania 2014. Aura raid on Mythromania. How's it going, everybody? Thanks for joining. Oops. Mythromania. Yeah, it would actually be a matter of adjusting the pulverizer so that way if it's on or it just kind of blasts the area around it instead of trying to actually mine it. Oops. Hey, Ara. Yeah, I'm I'm gathering as much mithril as I can, or at least 100k right now, and then probably going to go back through and get at least 25k of everything else. So that way, when what's it called comes through, when the combat and other equipment comes through, I'll have plenty of materials to make whatever I need and be able to, you know, kick ass from day one, or as soon as I can find the recipes, I suppose. Yeah, 100k, that's not so bad. I mean, that it translates into 1,300 ingots, so, you know, that's a lot, but if I'm trying to arm a bunch of people, it might not go that far. I'm not the only one going for 100k. I know Poro Sorceress is also pretty close herself. Fun stuff. I'm really looking forward to actually being able to use this on equipment. Also, it's just a really nice building material because the when it's darker, the kind of veins going through the mithril actually have luminance to them, like the white lumicite. So it actually works really well as a building material. So I'm probably not going to turn it all into ingots. I'm probably going to keep a lot of it around. Just to use for fancy building, especially when they add more of the materials and stuff, because it'd be nice to have kind of a glowing mithril metal panel texture to use. I guess you could come farm with me. The thing is, I use the pulverizer and then I dig it out. When I have people farm with me, I tend to just be on pulverizer duty and don't end up seeing any of that ore, so that's generally why I end up going solo. Plus, I get 30% bonus right now because of the potion and the harvesting ring, so you know, I get quite a bit for the effort. Right now, it's just a matter of finding the bits. A mithril duck? I like the sound of it. Make it happen. Alright, I'm number one on the Landmark stream list. Sweet. Thanks, everybody. By the way, if you're not following, please do follow. Click the follow button in the lower left. I will be having a show later on tonight. After Landmark Live, I have a live feature rant. That's a 2-hour show where I take on guests and we rant about features that we want to see in the game. This week I've got Super Fancy Unicorn and Sergeant Stackus on, which are both awesome folks from Into the Portal. Also, Ara's from Into the Era is from Into the Portal, so yeah, real cool crowd. Hey, Tolmart. Hey, Damien. Hey, Tobes. Sleepy One, Diomedes, and Zero, Mystic Meister, Mob Lord. Just a bunch of folks just came in. That's totally awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the raid. I know it isn't as exciting as watching Ara build because she's got some really awesome building skills. But, you know, it's something. Fun times. Sweet. Thanks, Diomedes. That's good to know. Mithril, where you at? Can I spot some on the map here? Oh, I think I did. No, that's diamond. I'll take some though. The mithril dance. Hey, that's a good idea. Oops. Looks like I might have crashed the game there. Yep. Drunk dance and pulverizer apparently is not a good combination. So let me bring that back up here. Woo Games. Cool, thanks. Yeah, 100K. I'm sure I'll be able to get that tonight. I usually get about 10K an hour. Yeah, shouldn't be too bad. And I'm back. Now I wonder if the crashing issue is an animation-related bug with the pulverizer. Oh, really, Damien? I didn't know that's how it works. I guess I haven't watched loot while I've done group harvesting. Well, damn, if that's the case, then we could definitely, I guess, get a crew out here. Still, it's like part of it is actually locating the stuff, and the other thing I'm doing is, you know, diamond and obsidian. Well, yeah, Rukak, that would make sense that it would be a, you get a bonus on 100, but it's split between the two rather than, you know, getting more. I think Marble might spawn on T4. I know Amaranthine does, but it's kind of hard to find everywhere, I've found. I don't really go marble hunting that much these days, I'll be honest. Alright, that's enough of that. I'll grab this ruby here, because why not? Yeah, I guess the map makes sense. Just pop it on every now and then. Kind of scan around. Yeah, Creon, but at the same time, they're going to also be pretty vigilant about taking care of that sort of stuff and trying to keep it minimal, doing a lot of banning of those accounts and the accounts that the suppliers are from. So they'll have a low tolerance for that sort of stuff because it does kind of not only affect their bottom line, but it's a kind of a disturbance to the gameplay experience. Besides, the selling the raw voxel materials, that'll only get you halfway there. All the equipment, all the awesome stuff that you're going to be making, that requires the elementals too. So if they're going to be selling those as well, that's maybe a different story. But of course, if they're trying to sell it for real world money, then that's an issue, and SOE would probably have to deal with it and intervene in one way or another. I'm not as worried about the bootleggers. Well, let's see. A bundle of tungsten. That's okay. That's a fair amount of tungsten for $1. Um, I could see someone doing as much as 10K for $1 to try to be competitive, or potentially even more, 15K for $1. Um, it really just depends on how easy the stuff is to collect. Yeah, Mithril is easy to find during the day. So I had to tune out, Era. Did your cat stop doing the thing with the pasta box, or do you pretty much have rigatoni flakes at this point? Yeah, Era, I don't know if resources can actually be sold for cash. I think they're the only ones that'll be doing that. Maybe, yeah, like Damien said, the in-game currency. Shards of rigatoni. uh, Creon, there's currently no in-game currency because they just don't have the currency system in. I'm pretty sure they're going to tie currency to maybe some amount of combat and possibly some amount of dealings with NPC vendors. But I'm not really 100% certain. It might be something that is really only expended in trades between players and use of the mail system. Really no idea what currency is actually going to be used for. It's a sandbox game. There's a lot of things it could be used for. Just find random vendors out in the world selling rare stuff. You'll never see it again. Or maybe you will, but not all in that same combination from that person in that area ever again. Destruction by cat. Yeah. Alright, so, has everybody read the, let's see, I think it's my last paste. Has everybody taken a chance to read that and give some feedback on it, or not give feedback and just see what other people said? Because I think it's a great subject, and it's going to be on one of the things we talked about on Live Feature Rant today. I'm really excited for combat, but the fact that we're seeing the question about combat now means there's going to be what 1-2 months of latency before we actually see them address it in one of the response videos. Yeah, RJ Denshi, that's the exact same thing that I was saying. Like, I do want to be able to use all four interchangeably as the situation dictates. I don't want to be, limited to one or the other. It'll be nice to see, but I think the way they're phrasing it might not really be the best way to kind of consider it. I'm almost feeling like they might be going closer to the route of a procedural roguelike, having the combinations available like you would see in The Binding of Isaac or Rogue Legacy or Risk of Rain, where you've just got so many different combinations of things you can find out in the world and equip and try out that, just infinite combinations sort of thing. Yeah. You like chocolate or vanilla? Well put. It's but once again, these roundtable discussions, they aren't really looking for a definitive answer from the community that they're going to put all the eggs in that basket, or at least not for every one of them. Some of them they do. For some of them, they're just saying if their idea is what the community wants, or if it differs in any way. But they really prompt discussion, and that's really kind of the point of them. Yeah. Thanks to Vince. Yeah, I don't have a following indicator yet. I need to work on that. Probably tomorrow. I'm gonna try to set all that stuff up. Um, but yeah, if you follow the channel, I truly appreciate it. Shout it out here, and I'll give you a shout out. Hey, it's Serial. I saw that you're in game there. How you doing? I probably don't need to have the friends list open actually. Yeah, unfortunately, I am kind of guilty of that. Poor, I haven't been using the forums as much because I'd rather broadcast the stuff and cover the information in a much shorter period of time. Um, Writing 50,000 character documents every week is fun, but it takes a lot of time and effort, especially for the level of detail that I was putting into that stuff. Yeah, Diomedes, I really hope we can swap on the fly. A mount making system defense, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things that people would want with a system like that. So I mean, I'm really hoping we'll have something like that too. I have a giant 3 claim tall thing that I want to put a bunch of cannons on, and some navigation systems just fly around as a giant imposing battle fortress. Um, so yeah, I definitely want that sort of thing. H1Z1, cute name for a zombie game, I suppose. Yeah, I guess at some point I should start going back to the forums and trying to help wrangle the community a little bit. I haven't really, I guess I haven't taken it in enough to know just how, I guess not bad, but how maybe diluted it's gotten with people that don't understand the game yet. Alright, Poro, see ya. Have fun with your math homework. Zernmox. We had at least 10,000 concurrent at Alpha. So I don't know how many we have right now, how many concurrent. but it's really hard to say because there's such a large, vast space that we're spread across, and there's so few of us. We have meaningful interactions with the environment and with other people's claims in short periods of time, but sometimes it can be a long period of time between us seeing a player and you know seeing another one somewhere else. So that's kind of the interesting element. That was one of the things like I've noticed with DayZ is that it doesn't you have really long times between interactions and they're really short interactions. Um, so in this game, I'm guessing it's going to be potentially much longer and higher quality interactions, but not necessarily higher quality, but longer and potentially more meaningful for the amount of time that you're spending with the people and working with them. After this vein, I'm going to have to stop and reach out for a second. Alright, give me just a moment here. Satisfaction's got 224 players. That's awesome. Yeah, Seeps, that's what I'm looking for with PvP is that, it's not going to be this open world gank fest, but it's going to be, limited encounters and people's claims where it's designated and designed for it. And maybe even the equipment that's available is actually designated at the beginning of the match and removed at the end of the match. So you can have limited rule sets. You can have people go in with a trident and a net and a gladius and, do some old school gladiator shit. That's a cute cube. Yeah, tomorrow's gonna be a big download. Probably Zermox. Yeah, pretty much Diomedes. I guess it's something that maybe we need to, as a community, start kind of attacking as a whole. Just getting in on the forums, helping people understand the game, and just perhaps we need to have a list of all the posts and content that really explains what the game is, what the scope and scale and the nature of it is. And then, if people have questions after that, go from there rather than people not having that kind of thing compiled and available and just kind of coming in and trying to piece it together for themselves, not having seen the history of things from SOE Live up to this point and understanding what's going on and what the intent is. Yeah, Creon, eventually they're going to have that sort of thing. Eventually, soon TM. Like that one's probably going to be a much later feature. I hope we'll see it in open beta even, but that's a feature that might even wait until like first year of live. Did they say where exactly it is in the blueprint, RJ? Not necessarily AI scripting. I mean, the Storybricks apparently is supposed to be able to help kind of bridge the gap between somebody who's an AI scripter and programmer and somebody who's not, but just has an idea for what they want the things to be doing. So, semi-technical but learnable and usable by all sort of thing. After open beta, yeah, that's what I figured. So that's going to be probably some of the first year stuff that they're going to be trying to work on. And it'll be really, really awesome when they get those features in. Um, like many people, I'm going to be all on top of that stuff and, just having a blast with it. I used to use the forums a lot more, honestly. I think when, not just the fact that I've been doing a lot more with the broadcasting, but that kind of coincided with Alpha coming out, and um, as soon as Alpha hit, well, it's fun to discuss it in the forums, but I'd rather be in game doing the thing, learning about it, and seeing about it. So the things that I do come and say are actually quality and meaningful. Having Into the Portal and Live Feature Rant as an outlet also, I guess, has caused me to be a little bit more apathetic towards the forums than I should be. But I guess it's really on everybody, because there's some folks like Smedley, for example, that he prefers Reddit. He doesn't even prefer their own forums, and it's just a preference thing. But um, maybe it's one of those things. If we just make the forums even better than they used to be or than they currently are, and bring them to a point of real functional glory, we can progress and proceed and see a lot more of the devs actually using the forums to interact with us too. Phone call. Anyway, while the automated thing reads off the phone there, and the ringers on the phones in the other rooms keep going, I'm just going to keep on talking here. Yes, butlers and maids of your mansion, exactly, RJ. Project Spark. I'm not familiar with Project Spark. Is that the wait? Was that Microsoft thing that they were trying to make a fully deformable, not necessarily a voxel-based sort of thing, but kind of similar to this? Because I think I was accepted for that, and I just didn't get into it because it's Windows 8 only, and I'm totally not gonna get Windows 8 just to play that game. Eh, Windows 8 blech. Ramaj, it is possible to have a meaningful conversation with that many people. It's just a matter of being able to wrangle all of the information and all of the posts in such a way that we don't have 50 topics on the same subject. The idea is that we want to have people reading, maybe 10 to 20 times as much as they're actually posting, so that way the content they are adding is adding on to all of our combined knowledge, rather than just asking questions about things we already know the answers to and then having a big long discussion about it. Alright. Hey, you finally made it. I think there's some off this way. Yeah, Ramaj. I mean, I've talked about that sort of having like a more professional style forum where we have one mega post at the top of each forum that lists all of the discussions, and then um, people can kind of search there for everything first before going through and looking at everything else. Yeah. It's one of those things where it's really tough to you almost have to be like a forum personality that people look to for your content and have a lot of followers and stuff to really be able to get meaningful conversations going for a sustained period of time. Yeah, usually it is a player sort of thing, and it's something that I was actually thinking of taking on with closed beta, but I just didn't end up getting to the forums, and now it's probably at the point where it's already too late. Or if I was going to do something like that, I would try to find everything I can in like the first 10 pages, and then if anybody wants to add on from there, they can give me a post with a link to the post that they've made. It can be edited in. Of course, I would need the rights from the moderators to actually do that sort of thing. I'm sure Dexel would be able to give me editing privileges for one post. Probably wouldn't be too big of a deal. Editing past the 30-minute window, I should say. A dense jungle with a butter knife or a machete. Yeah. Pretty much. Alright. Hi there, Island Steve. What's your question? I'm sure there's a lot of good discussions going on the forums. I just haven't really, checked in a while to see what's going on. Island Steve, unless you can win a permanent beta access key, I don't know when the open alpha is actually going to happen. That's probably 1 to 3 months out potentially. Um, we'll see. I would wager they probably want it in open alpha by the time SOE Live rolls around, so that way they can have contests where people log in and, you know, just start an account and play the game, do something or whatever. I have no idea. Maybe they'll want to have building contests, so they would have it in open beta for maybe a few weeks or a month beforehand, so people can get their tools up. No idea how they're going to do it. Yeah, Throckett Martin, but it's for some folks it's the idea of spending money on access to a game that's going to be free to play, and I can totally respect that. Personally, I had no problem going with the Trailblazer day one because I know I'm gonna make at least $100 back during the course of the game through Player Studio, so I've got no worries about that. The other thing is, right now, during this phase of beta, you're actually able to keep all the materials you collect, and it's really not that difficult to collect these materials. I'm collecting the top tier materials right now, which, once they get all the game systems in, it won't be this easy at all to collect them. Serenity chat is amazing. I bet. Yeah, a lot of the servers have really good chat rooms. The Sea Crew, the Courage Crew, they're a bunch of good folks too. Uh, I was doing more giveaways, and I probably will start again pretty soon. Right now, unfortunately, all the systems being what they are, I can't really handle the full influx of all of the people that are trying to win stuff. So once I have a better system worked out, I will most definitely resume giveaways. But for right now, I've got plenty. Don't worry about it. If you want to hold on to it or give it to another streamer or something. That's a really nice offer. Thank you very much. Well, the other thing to it, Steve, is this is the phase right now where they're designing a lot of the tools and a lot of the systems and such for what they're going to be using to build EverQuest next. So the more feedback we give them right now, the more we'll help them refine the game and get it to the point where, it'll be its maximum awesomeness. So, that's the other part of what's going on right now. They're so open with communication. Us players are really a major factor in how they continue with the design of the game. Except with the cylinder tool, they apparently just don't want to make that cylinder tool. Maybe they'll announce that today on the show, that they've actually come to their senses Mythromania 2014. No, Island Steve, I'm mining Mithril right now. Until they get the depth system in, we can freely mine Mithril and other higher tier materials. And when they actually get the system in, since we're keeping all of our materials, we'll just have it on hand. So that way, when the equipment and stuff, all the weapons and such are in, we'll be able to use these materials we've collected and make awesome equipment. So that's one of the main reasons why I'm collecting up the highest metal that we have available right now. So that way, come time for combat, I can put on all the awesome mithril gear and reforge it and recraft it and do whatever I need to do to make it as awesome as possible. And other materials too. I've got a fair amount of cobalt, and I'm sure I'll go back through and collect like at least 25k of everything else if I can, just so that way I've got it handy for building, for crafting, for whatever. I like materials. Yeah, Papuza, I definitely agree with you there. A full-on extrude tool is something that I really would love to have, just to be able to kind of grab a face of voxels and extrude it out, rather than having to do as we do right now, where you just, you make it and then you keep building it up one after the other. That's another feature I'd like to see with the line tool, is just an extrude rather than having to pick 2 points and have them meet. Yeah, RJ, it's something that's going to be a bit of work to do, because at some of the angles, the single voxels have some issues. So they would need to be able to increase the fidelity of it and make it work better that way. Thought I saw some more over here. Maybe it was just a reflection. Yep. Oh well. Alright, so in 30 minutes the Landmark live show will start. I figure most of you are going to be going to watch that. I'm most certainly going to be going to watch that. But before that, I need to do a little bit of audio-video testing for Live Feature Rant. Live Feature Rant comes on after Landmark Live show here on this channel. It's a 2-hour show ranting about features and such that we want to see in Landmark, and EP next as well. So, come back after Landmark Live for the show. I've got Super Fancy Uniform. Super Fancy Uniform, nice. Super Fancy Unicorn on, and so Sergeant Stackus. Wow, I'm just butchering their names. Maybe I should get a beer or something. Anyway, yes. Super Fancy Uniform and Sergeant Stackus. Okay, so that'll be, once again after Landmark Live, that's Live Feature Rant. So, I'm gonna probably cut the broadcast here in a moment. and get to the audio stuff. So thank each and every one of you for coming to the show here. And if you're looking for someone to raid, I will give you someone to raid here. Give me just a second. We've got a bunch of awesome people on. I see Super Fancy Unicorn is on. Jimmy Monka is on. Yeah, there's a bunch of folks. Super Fancy is probably only going to be on for another 15 minutes or so. I don't know who's going to be streaming through, so, just pick someone and go with it. I'll see you folks over on Landmark Live show, and then for Live Feature Rant afterward. Thank you very much for joining me. Thanks for the follows, and I'll see you later.